Hello, this is Jennifer, the Golden Entrepreneur of goldenentrepreneurs.com, and today I'm going to talk to you about backing up your WordPress blog. First, let's look at what actually makes up your blog. On the left you can see here that this is a representation of what people are going to see when they type in your URL. You'll probably have a header and a footer and maybe a background image, sidebar information, and then you'll have posts with or without images and pages. And this is what people see when they load up your blog. Behind this in the background, WordPress stores information so that it knows how to make up this page for you. So let's look at the blue box. This is what your WordPress installation is on your hosting. That is what you installed when you initially installed WordPress. So it has things like your WP admin, your WP content, W themes, WP includes, and various other files. So this is what WordPress uses to make up how your blog looks. So this is the looks on your blog, and also stores in here things like the images. So bear in mind that this is the looks. When you initially install WordPress, it also sets up a database called a MySql database. This is where it's going to store all the information that comes in and gets put onto your blog. So this is where it actually stores the information that you input. So when you add a new post, it goes in here. The text you type goes in here. When people add comments, they go in here. When you do pages, they go in here. When you register users, they go in here. This is a database with records for all these things. Now don't panic, because you don't have to know how to do this database. All you need to know is that it exists, and you do need to back it up. A lot of people find they just back up the WordPress installation on their hosting and think that's fine. But if disaster strikes and you have to reinstall, that will be fine, because you'll get your looks back, but you won't get your content. Many hosts say they do not back this up. Most of them, I believe, do, but it's getting your hands on it that might be the difficulty. So let's look at how we go about actually backing up this MySql database. What you need to do first is go into the cPanel or control panel at your host level. So log into your hosting site and go to your cPanel. And within cPanel, look around until you find an icon that says MySql database. Now I know some people pronounce this differently, but I'm going to call it MySql database. So click on that, and you will be taken to an area that lists. Now different hosts are different. On my particular host, this is what it looks like. On different hosts it will be different, but you will have the list of your website, somewhere you will have your databases. If you have only one blog, you will have only one database. Sadly, I've had to reinstall and do all sorts of funny things, and I've ended up with a big number here. So if you have just the one, what you will be doing is just clicking on just that one. And the one I'm going to choose to do here is this one here. On my host, when it creates an MySql database, this is what it calls it. It starts with WRD for WordPress and then generates a random number. So I'm going to click on that, and over on this side I'm looking for Access PHP MyAdmin. So I'm not sure if it'll be exactly the same on yours, but be sure to look for Access PHP MyAdmin and click on it. In my case, I have to find the database again. It tells me it's got 11 tables. Here's all you see. Here's all your comments. Here's your comments, posts, users, and various other things that WordPress needs to fill out the content within your blog. So I click on that one with my host. Now with you may not have needed that step. You may have come straight into this page here. At this point, all you're interested in is the export button. So click on the export button. Now this is what your database is going to back up, and this is what you want to be careful with. So here you've got a list of all the tables which we had before. Click on select all, because you want your whole database backed up. The next box we're interested in is the structure box. So in this box, be sure to click that there are ticks on the first 4. So add drop table, add if not exists, add auto increment, and enclose table and field names with back quotes. Make sure those are all ticked. Then you come down to the data box. Make sure you've ticked the data box. It doesn't matter about all the rest of the buttons, just make sure that that data box is ticked. Then we scroll on down and you come to save as file. Make sure you tick that. It's going to generate its own file name. Tick as a gzipped because that comes through smallest, and then click on go to get your database down. Now it's going to ask you where to store it, so make sure you choose somewhere where you do remember. On my computer I've got an area that's called website backups, and in that area I store by date my database backups. So if I were starting a new date, I would click on new folder and I would put today the next date in of the day I was backing up, and I always do it in reverse because then it sorts it in order of, let's put 10, although today isn't that date. It will sort it. You'll see that it sorts it in order of the date if you put the year first and then the month and then the day. So that's where I want my backup to go, so be sure to click on the little icon. As you see here, for some reason I end up with 2 lots of .sql.gz, so I delete one lot and then I hit save, and it goes away and downloads very quickly because it's just a lot of text and pointers in the database. I will look here now. We will go into resources, website backups in here, and here's the database we backed up. So be sure in your backup routine you include both the WordPress installation and the MySQL database. If it depends how much work you do on your blog. If you're updating 3 or 4 posts a day, you may want to back up every day. If you're putting 1 post a week, then obviously backing up once a week or maybe once a month is fine. But just be sure you don't forget to back up your MySQL database. This is Jennifer Taylor, the Golden Entrepreneur, signing off for today.